Yo, 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 what up? This is Scoozy, and I'm back with a brand new episode from the Pinecraft server. So, last episode, episode 1, we were working on a villager trading area that we built with Mr. Metz so that we could get some mending books. Well, we succeeded, and I put mending on my Silk Touch pick, Smooth Criminal. But the problem is I came out here to the Enderman farm to repair my pick, and well, there's uh, there's no Enderman, which is kind of a problem. So I did a little poking around, and it turns out that way up there in a minecart is where there was an Endermite, and that's basically how this farm works. They run and try to kill the Endermite, which they can't do. Well, they couldn't do before, and then they fall down this hole, and then you come and you just smack them. They die with one hit. So this was a really good resource that Mr. Metz had built for the community, and it's kept everybody with lots of ender pearls and lots of experience to do your enchanting over here. But yeah, they seem to have killed the endermite because, as you can see, there's just no enderman coming down here. So I thought what I would do is, since I need to repair my pick anyways, I will take some time here, and I think yeah, there's a name tag here. So sorry to steal this, Mr. Metz, but I did ask permission to get one from AZ Badfish, but I was looking for his base, and it was nighttime, and one of the other guys on the server is trying to light up his base, so he didn't want me to sleep, which is fine, I don't mind that, but that residential area is dark at nighttime, and let me tell you, it is a dangerous gauntlet to try to run through there, especially if you don't know exactly where you're going. You're trying to find somebody's base that you have not been to yet. So, I figured there might be one here. This is all his stuff that he had here while he was working on the farm. And sure enough, there's a name tag here. So we'll go ahead and anyone who doesn't remember, who doesn't follow me or is new to my channel, on the last server I was in, me and a friend, we built the Ender, and we used a similar design with the Endermite trapped into a mine cart, and we called ours Friendermite, and yeah, we were building the Ender out over top of the void, and when I had done that before, I had been knocked by the Endermite out of the little enclosure we were in and fallen into the void and lost all my stuff. So this time I wasn't wearing any of my gear. I was like, second time around, I got this. And so I'm in there, like, doing my thing, ender pearling, trying to get an endermite, and my hearts are down. I'm, like, using food to try to replenish. And anyways, I finally get one to spawn, and the guy I was building the farm with, he was a little slow on throwing down the minecart, and the named endermite, Friendermite, he managed to kill me. It was sad. It was probably one of the worst deaths I've ever had. So I'm going to try to avoid a repeat of that today. But, you know, let me tell you, anything can happen when you're dealing with mobs with the word Ender in their name. Endermen, Endermites, they're all trouble. So, one of the main problems that he had when he was building this farm the first time was he got murdered several times by Endermen. Yeah, just because you accidentally look at them while you're doing stuff, you're not paying attention. And I'm going to try to avoid that today if I can. But no promises, because I have bad luck with Enderman myself. So we'll break that. And I guess what we'll do is build like a little enclosure here. Oh. So I usually do one that's too wide, because I find that being able to push the minecart towards the mob you're trying to catch is like the easiest way to get them stuck in it. So we'll see if that works today. Yeah, so too high so that he can't escape. I'll just use plain rails here. Got the Friendermite. We got ender pearls, and we got the name tag. we should be good to go. So hopefully we'll get one pretty easily. And I'm leaving my gear on this time because I'm not above the void. There we go. Oh, it's going to happen again, I bet. Yep, it's about to happen. Whoop. Let me escape here. Is he going to stay in there? No, he's not. And now he's dead. Okay, so first time didn't go as expected, or maybe it went exactly as expected given my history. Yeah. As long as the Endermen are peeved off at the Endermite and not me, I'm happy. Ooh, unfortunately though, that was a name tag, so... yeah, I'm gonna go make a new name tag and I'll be back. Okay, we're back again. I extended the platform out a third block to give me a little bit more room to maneuver, but this time I only have 8 ender pearls, so I'm probably gonna blow through all of these and not get one. That's my luck. I'll give my hearts a chance to recharge here. Take these out of my offhand. Alright, come on. Regen, regen. Okay, so like three stacks of ender pearls later, and we still haven't got another endermite to spawn, and I am out of food now. I didn't think that I would need like more than 2/3 of a stack of chicken, but apparently I was wrong. So what I'm gonna do is go get some more food, keep going till I spawn in this endermite, and yeah, then we'll move on. All right, we got him. Yeah. It only took like another 2 stacks of endermites, or ender pearls. So I believe this is the spot we want him, right here. I believe. So let's break that. So we can get a block in there. And I think I might also put a block on top to protect him from Enderman. So I think I have that lined up properly. Let me just hop down here and check. Yeah, I believe that's right. So I should be able to take this out. Oh. Well, he's dead. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, alright. Frienderman number 4. Um, yeah, so every time I die, the Endermen have come and killed him. So hopefully this one is the lucky charm. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to be very careful about when I reveal him to the world. I do think I'm going to want to put a block above him still. Okay, now, let me see here. Let's reveal the pit down below. So if they do come at him, hopefully they'll fall instead of getting him. Also being careful not to look at any Endermen, which makes it a little tough to do things like this. Ooh. Okay. So, again, I don't want to look up and then right into the eyes of an Enderman. This is stressful for me. Okay, so he should be at this level here, so I can take out this bottom one. Like this. I fully expect to die at least one more time here. It's like the bad part of town, you gotta be really careful who you look at. Just walk around with your head down, right? Okay, so now what I'm thinking is I get rid of these ones like so. Yep, I'm done. Oh yeah. Oh, I hate Endermen so much. Except for their lovely ender pearls and the experience they give you. I love all that, but man, they're so easily annoyed. Okay, let's see here. Can I do this without making anybody else mad at me? So hopefully now... Oh, I'm gonna get it. Okay, seems to be working. Guys were getting stuck on the edge before too, they get knocked in eventually. Alright, so I think we have done it now. I may just want to go up here and put some torches up top. Let's see here. Ooh. There. Not bad, I only died like 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to repair up my pick and then we'll get on to what I was planning on doing today. Alright, so like 6 or 7 stacks of ender pearls, 2 stacks of chicken, and a couple embarrassing deaths later, and we are finally back and ready for today's project. So beneath me here you can see what I've started, and this is going to be a hole that goes down to just slightly above bedrock, and it is what we are going to build our gunpowder farm inside of. So if you are a long-time follower of my channel, or even I guess somewhat short-term, it wasn't that long ago we did this, but we built a gunpowder farm, and it was extremely effective. It gets you gunpowder and a lot of string. So the server here is going to need rockets. People are going to want to use their elytras to fly around, and I'm going to be the guy to provide it for them. I just have a lot of digging ahead of me. So now that we have the Enderman farm repaired, and we can actually repair our picks when we need to, all that's left is for me to just get to work and dig away at this for, oh gee, I don't know, maybe another, probably take only like another 4 hours or so, maybe. Let me see here. We are on y equals 46, and we have to go down to y equals 6. So this thing is, that cross is 15 by 15. So you count the other two spaces on either side, that's 19, and then the two walls are 21. So yeah, we're digging a 21 by 21 hole, probably close to, I'd say almost 100 blocks down. So you can do the math on that. It's a lot of digging, and we don't have a beacon yet, so this is going to take a while. I actually contemplated to myself, what would be faster? Would it be faster to just dig this straight through, or go to the nether and try to find 2 more wither skeletons, skulls, and then fight the wither, and then harvest the iron to make a beacon? But I think in the long run, it'll be faster for this first hole, just to dig it by hand the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to crack on with that, and when it's done, I'll be back. You can count on that. Okay, so I'm not quite done digging, but this is the next day for me, and I think I only have about 12 more levels to dig down, so that's not too bad. Yeah, we got to go down to the bottom of this ladder, so yeah, not far at all. It actually might be less than 12. So I'm going to continue on with that, and I have a few more resources I need to gather. I need to go get some magma cubes, or magma blocks. Yeah, the cubes are the mob. I need magma blocks, because that's what we use for the kill floor for this farm. That's what's going to destroy all of our creepers. And I realized I haven't really been too clear about how we're going to make this farm. And it's not that difficult to explain, but it may be a little bit hard for you to envision. So I thought what I'd do is I would pop over to the previous server that I played on where I had built this, and I can show it to you in spectator mode. Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'm going to keep digging. And I have, last night I spent a bunch of time chopping down trees to get trapdoors, and I'll explain why these are so important. And then I'll go get some magma cubes, or magma blocks, and then we'll all meet back here. And actually, since you're going to get such a good view of how this thing works in just a second, what I'll probably do is just build this one off camera, and we'll come back when it's done. All right, so enjoy the inside view of this farm. Okay, so here we are on a server of mine where I've built the Gunpowder farm already, and I want to take you down in spectator mode and show you exactly how this thing works. So I'm just going to drink another night vision because it obviously has to be quite dark under there, and we are going to go to spectator. Okay, so this is the mechanism, this overly complicated mechanism, which I'm going to try to simplify on the Primecraft server. But basically, all of this is to extend the block out over the observer, and then take it away a few seconds later. Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second, why we do that. So here's the farm, and as you can see, we're spawning a bunch of creepers and occasionally a spider. And that's all that'll spawn in here, because these trapdoors basically cause less than a 2-block tall space for spawns to happen, and witches, zombies, skeletons, they're all 2 blocks tall. Creepers are like 1.8 blocks tall, and then obviously spiders are 1 tall. And baby zombies won't spawn in here either, because it has to be, so see, that's the water coming out there, washes them all down. So that's basically how this whole farm works. And this complicated machine here is to make sure that the water is only out from the buckets, dispensed out for a short period of time, because we don't want these things flooded. We want them clear so that creepers can spawn, and then we want to flood it just long enough to wash them over the edge. And then obviously they land in the water streams and get magmatized, and then we have the minecart's collection system down here, which is going and grabbing all the drops like that. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to build basically the exact same thing here on Primecraft, and it's going to do all of our gunpowder needs. So anyways, I was saying about the baby zombies. The baby zombies will not spawn because in order for a baby zombie to spawn, there has to be an available space for a regular zombie to spawn, and then there's a percentage chance that that zombie will be either a villager zombie or a baby zombie. So you will not have to worry about baby zombies spawning in a one block tall gap. It just won't happen. Spiders, they kind of hang on a little bit, but they do eventually all fall in here. So yeah, that's basically how this thing works on the inside, and I figured it was a lot easier to just show you here in spectator mode when I can zip around and everything and not get blown up by the creepers. Because you can't tell right now I'm in spectator, but it is pitch black in here, and it would be nearly impossible to show you if I wasn't here doing it in spectator. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the Primecraft server, and I'm going to build this bad boy. Okay, I'm back, and Creeper Farm is done. This is the mechanism up top that controls the dispensing of the water buckets. So right here you got a hopper clock, and in here you put stacks of items, and that controls how long of a time it goes in between flushes. This setup here is a monostable circuit. So what happens is there is one item in the dropper, and when it gets a new power, when it gets powered, it sends the item up to the hopper, and then the hopper sends it back down to the dropper. And while it's in the hopper, this comparator can take a signal from it and output it, and then even though this has constant input, it will only actually output for like a split second. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically I don't want a constant output because I want to have an interval in between the buckets dispensing. So the output from that goes into this pulse extender. So it's basically turning a solid output from this hopper clock into like maybe like a 5-second pulse at this end here. And now the reason that's important is because like I explained it in the clip before, what you want to do is you want to have the spawning platforms clear of water for a while, and then you want to flush them long enough to wash the mobs off. Now if you use just a hopper clock, what will happen is they will be dry for the same amount of time as they are wet, and it just alternates back and forth, and that works, but it's less efficient than this system where it will only be wet as long as this block here is over top of the observer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like 4 seconds, and then when it comes back off, the water retracts. Alright, so yeah, I'm sure this system has applications in any sort of mob farm that uses water to wash mobs off. This basically, yeah, it's kind of cool. So I want to show you down here. I've been having a couple issues with my minecart collection system, and I've done a few AFK sessions to try to build up some gunpowder supplies, and I always seem a little disappointed when I come back at the levels that I have, and I can't seem to figure out why it's not producing more. And then I come down here to my collection area, and my minecart is like stopped on the tracks in this section here. Like somewhere, it's always been right in this area. I think the minecart is still running now. Oh no, see, it's stopped again. I walked right past it. So I don't exactly know what's up with that. I don't know why it's just randomly stopping on this last section here. But basically, it's not good. Yeah, there should be enough powered rails. I mean, the powered rails are only spaced like maybe 5 blocks apart in this section. So I don't know what to do there. My only alternative is to go in underneath there and put in like just a crap ton of hoppers, which I'm not sure I have the resources for at the moment. But yeah, so we got like just kind of a little situation here. We got a classic unloading station, so there's a comparator output from this hopper. So when the minecart comes up, as soon as it drops the first item in the hopper, this thing can take a signal from it. It sees, yes, there's something in there, and that will power this block, which will unpower the torch. Once the torch is unpowered, the rail becomes unpowered. And so the minecart can't leave until this hopper is empty, which means that it will basically unload everything that is in that minecart into the hoppers, and then it's free to go. So those are kind of cool. You can use those in any of your minecart collection systems. But again, I gotta troubleshoot this and figure out why in this section here the minecart always stops. Fortunately for me, it hasn't happened out there where I can't get to, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. So yeah, if you have any idea why that is, please definitely let me know down in the comments and let me know what I can do to fix it, because it's kind of frustrating to be AFK for, say, 8 hours and then come back and find out that potentially 20 minutes after you left your keyboard, this thing got froze. And I know some people are probably going to think that it's a chunk border issue, but as you can see here, this whole section that it's getting stuck in is all within the same chunk. It's not crossing a boundary in here. So I don't think that is the issue in this instance, but I don't know. Like I said, if you have any clue, please do let me know, because I need to solve this. It's a little frustrating. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. This might end up being a bit of a long one because I filmed it over several days, and whenever I do that, I'm never sure how much footage I actually have. So I'm going to try to edit it down to like a manageable length, but it may be a little long, and if it is, I apologize for that. Next episode, we are going to build our shop up in the shopping district, where we will sell the gunpowder or the firework rockets that we're making from this gunpowder farm. And I got a really cool idea for that, so I'm kind of excited, and I hope you are too. But yeah, until next time, this is Scoozy from the Primecraft server, and I'm saying peace.